Yeah, no.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Under Review, where we just give it to you real, we give it to you raw, we just do it all. I got my guy Jerry in the house.
What's up?
Did you
What's
gonna
up?
leave me
What's up?
hanging? See, you only had one sip of that cocktail, just one. And we are joined by special guest Melissa Anthony.
Hello.
How
I got
are
my iced
you?
tea. Got my iced tea.
Nice.
So here we go. I'm riding it with you guys.
We got cocktails and iced tea. I love it. Melissa is joining us remotely. Melissa, tell the people more about you, and I really want to touch base on your platform, What Just Happened Sports. So, yeah.
Well, hey, first of all, thank you guys so much for having me on. I love your podcast. I love the authenticity. I learned so much, and I think everybody needs to be listening in. So thank you guys once again.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
What Just Happened Sports? I founded What Just Happened Sports because, first of all, I was always asking what just happened. Here's hoodie, What Just Happened Sports,
she got
try to
that.
advertise
Okay,
it everywhere I
nice,
go.
yeah.
We're all about making sure that women are empowered to stay in the game. When I was working corporate America many years ago, I asked one of the only female VP actually at the corporation. It was a Fortune 100 company, and I was in outside sales. So I'm out seeing customers and walking the walk and doing my corporate thing, but I could never have the sports conversation. So when I asked the female VP how she managed being the only VP who was a female in the room and in these board meetings, and she said, "Look, I do two things." She said, "I read Time Magazine cover to cover, and I read Sports Illustrated cover to cover, and I'll never be left out of any conversation." So that always resonated with me, and I decided to do something about it. I learned that, there are a lot of women like you, Danache, who just got sports, understand
Yeah.
it, cover to cover. And then there are a lot of women who were like me, who didn't understand a lot about sports. So we have live classes. We have virtual classes on various sports to help women understand more about sports. So we're excited. We've got great things coming up. And back up a little bit, I have women who come to me and say, I had a woman come to me this week who said, "Listen, my son just made the high school soccer team. And I have no idea. He's been playing soccer for 5 years. I have no idea what's going on." And she said it was really frustrated and it almost brought her to tears because people were, cheering for her son and she didn't get it. She didn't know why.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. We're here to help out. So I'm actually going to have, I found, I've got all kinds of contacts. So I have a professional former soccer player who is very willing to come and do some one-on-one lessons with her.
That's
He's even
awesome.
probably going to come to one of her son's games and just watch and just kind of give her a play-by-play and explain what's going on. So we do all kinds of services and we'll customize events for folks who are looking to get some kind of support, for groups of women, especially in sports.
I love that. I love what you're doing, but I didn't know. I learned something new. I thought you were only about football. I love the fact that you're touching on every single sport. I know I met you on Clubhouse, great platform. I love the way you were introducing women. It was open for everybody, but you were inviting women to come in, safe space, and you were breaking down positions. That's the first room I met you in, and I was like, "Yo, this is kind of cool." And she was like, "Basic 101, like what's a wide receiver? It was such an amazing experience. I didn't know that you offer live classes as well. On what platform? Can you elaborate just a little bit more on what specific platforms you do that on?
Well, that's a great question. So when we do live events, we go out into the community. So we might do a live class. We've done live classes. We had a woman who owns a furniture store in Milton, Georgia. And she wanted, she's trying to get more people to come into her store and expose her store to folks. So we had an event at her store where we had a former Eagles player, wide receiver Reggie Brown, come out.
Nice.
And he's also
Nice.
a coach here in Georgia now. And so he got out and explained football to us, got us in, offensive and defensive positions.
Nice.
So we do live events like that. We had something a few years ago at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And get this, we brought in a women's football team. to come in and
Nice.
do
Yeah.
an exhibition for us. That was super cool. But everybody got out on the field with this women's team, first of all, and just talked to the players and, got to understand the positions a little bit better and, got to really talk about what their focus was. That's another whole thing what women have to go through because they can't get sponsorship. So
Right.
anyway, and their plays take a little bit longer because they have to readjust everything after after tackles. But anyway, yeah. So we do. So the live classes are out in the community. Sometimes we have them at sports restaurants, sports bars. We'll have them. If somebody's got a place and they want a live class here, at least start here in Georgia, we'll be happy to try to pull it together. And then we'll do virtual classes. We had a woman who's in IT. She had a group of women, and she knows that being able to talk sports and have that sports conversation is very helpful in male-dominated spaces. Women in IT are around men all day long. So we did a sports 101 class for those women. We brought in, a coach. We brought in a referee. I talked about the business of sports, which, women love talking about all that stuff, the background, the money, because that's something that's easy for us to relate to. So, so we do all kinds of classes, and we're always happy to customize a class for someone who's interested in doing something virtually, like on Zoom.
When did you initially get started? Because I met you last year on Clubhouse, but when did you initially start? And you empower so many people, I'm pretty sure. And how does it feel to make such an impact in the lives of women?
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I actually got started in 2015 and didn't spend as much time with this as I would have liked. And then during COVID, I did get a chance because I was laid off from work. So I was able to really kind of dig in and put plans together and start trying to rebuild the business. And, I'm hoping that we do inspire women and that we break down sports and make them more relatable so that we can understand that conversation. And, it's just helpful. It just builds confidence. And, folks like you, Danache, just, when you're out and about, you can have that conversation. You don't have to back up. You don't have to just be quiet. Right. Lots of women, especially in corporate, that Monday morning sales call or that Monday morning Zoom call, you know what the first 10 minutes is about, right? The first 10 minutes of that Monday morning Zoom call is what happened in sports. Yeah. If there's any men on that call, it's going to be, and with women now too. So I want women to not have to refrain from, not being able to talk much and just be able to contribute to the conversation, when sports come up.
That's true, though.
Yeah. Like I see it a lot in the corporate world, like you were saying. And I think a good a platform or a good thing that helps kind of get women really into sports is like fantasy football. So I feel like, you get to understand the player, right? So then you have a vested interest in that player. So now you're really watching that player. And now it's like, all right, You know what? Man, he's doing so much. How does he do that? Like I feel like it intrigues a lot more women to want to know more about the game. And, my previous job, like we just hired a woman. So I'm in commercial real estate. So, she wanted to really, my old company was more like a male dominated space, and she wanted to kind of break in. And I told her, like, get into fantasy football, right? Like, you don't, I think fantasy football does enough where you don't have to know about the game that much, and you can if you really want to take that route. But it gives you enough to like have that conversation in that sales meeting in the morning, right? Because then you get to talk about your player and you get to talk about how you get to beat one of the guys, on your team in the office who thinks he knows so much about football, and you beat his ass by like 20 points, and it kind of gives you that confidence, you know what I mean?
Right.
So can you talk a little bit more? Like, do you kind of get into fantasy sports or fantasy football when you kind of talk to women? Do you see women asking to try to learn more about that?
That is something that we have talked about doing, and we almost started a fantasy team, but the woman who was going to help us, she was managing about 3 or 4 other fantasy teams. So let me put this plug in right now. We do want to pull together fantasy football or What Just Happened Sports, fantasy football.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Let's collab on it. Let's do it.
Let's do it, because I think you're absolutely right. It'll give people an opportunity to, like you said, learn players. And, even if they do like a system where the players are picked for them, it can be that simple. And, or if they really, really want to dig in, I think, you guys are a little more advanced, so you want to go and pick your own players. But let's collab on that. I would love to do that. So many people have asked about it and we haven't done it yet. So let's do it. Thank you. And I'm taking notes.
And you guys are telling the truth, because, okay, I've been a tomboy my entire life, so sports is my baby, right? But it's still a great icebreaker because I call it corporate, but I work in sports and entertainment. I work with a lot of men, male dominated, right? Different departments. And one of my colleagues, sweetest person on earth, I talked to him about, that's how we started our relationship about sports. He's a Detroit Lions fan, and it was one tiny conversation, and now we speak all the time. And it's so funny because everybody else outside looking in was like, wow, how do you get him to talk? Because he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk. So that is like such a great, such a great point. Such a great point. Melissa, I need a hoodie.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
No, I said I just had to jump in. I need a hoodie, so let's connect offline so I can get.
We'll get you one, girl. What size do you need?
I'm little with it, petite with it.
Okay. Petite. So you want like a small?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a small.
I will get you one. Happy to do it. Happy to do it. And I just want to add one thing. The women that I've talked to, one woman who I was at an event, and she actually had just gotten recognized by all the folks in the room. She worked for corporate America once again, and she said, you know what? The only two things that are safe to talk about are sports and pets. She said those two things, those are what's safe. So she said, if you can talk sports, if you can talk pets, you're probably going to do pretty well. Yeah. So Danache, you hit the nail on the head. You had that conversation, and, that gentleman now, y'all are friends, and we're all about sports booze too. You can get yourself a boo out of being able to talk about sports. Hey, you never know. You never know.
So
sports moms.
Sports mom is another way to connect. Yeah. I made a lot of great relationships. My oldest is 19. He's played all sports, but football was his thing. And instead of just being like the team mom, I was on the sidelines. I was helping with the coaching. I was doing the playbook. Like it was insane. Right. But my relationship, not only with just the male coaches, but the other moms, I kind of taught them. They would ask me like, Danache, what's this? I don't know what my son is doing. What's this? Oh, what's the first down? What is this line marker? But it got them going in a different type of way. I was young, so I wasn't, fully invested. I was more on the sideline helping get the kids together. But if I could go back in time or do it again, I would definitely take a different approach and get those moms a little more into it with the X's and O's.
I feel like
next thing I'm gonna tell you, we have a little.
Put that up on the screen. Jeremy?
We have a little booklet that we hand out at our events. What just happened sports, and we sort of break down all kinds of things. The structure of the NFL. This is mostly NFL.
No, that is awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
We talk about popular offensive and the business of sports, and also we have a place for women to take notes during our classes. So we try to make sure that everybody's covered. So we're getting ready to do one for basketball because I've got somebody who's super excited about teaching basketball for us. And so, so stay tuned.
NBA season. Yeah. That'll be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
NFL season just about done. NBA season, after All-Star Weekend is really when it kicks up. Yeah. So that's just perfect timing. So are you still doing your rooms on Clubhouse?
I have taken a break from doing rooms on Clubhouse, but I absolutely love Clubhouse, and I'm not opposed to getting back on there. So, in fact, I was talking to someone, and I think we want to do some rooms on helping women get their children prepared to try to get accepted onto college teams, especially in football. And even, even here in Georgia, I think I mentioned this to you earlier when we talked, Danache, when, girls are playing high school football, they're playing flag, and now there are colleges that are picking up these women to play flag football on the collegiate level. So we want to help, students get involved and understand and moms get more, and parents get more involved in what needs to be done. These kids want to get accepted into the collegiate level. That's probably what I'll do next on Clubhouse.
Okay, flag football is picking up steam on both, for both girls, males, and females. I think it's way better than contact for the obvious reasons. Yeah. Where are you now? Yeah. Anywhere digitally, on any digital platform as of right now?
We are, for social media, we're on Instagram, What Just Happened Sports, Facebook. Also, and everything is What Just Happened Sports. We do a little bit on Twitter, but I need to do more. So I forgot even what my Twitter handle is. We are there, and please do follow us.
Yeah, I know.
I follow back. So thank you so much.
Perfect. Mello, did you get the chance to, we have to do a room, hopefully before the Super Bowl, or a short little Instagram video to post. Did you get a chance to watch any of the games this past weekend that happened on Super Wild Card Weekend?
I watched a little bit. And I'm really excited about the games coming up. But yes, I did get a chance to watch a little bit. I play a little tennis on the weekend, so I didn't get to watch the way I would have liked.
Oh, we got a tennis star in the house.
Nice.
We got a tennis star in the house. Which game did you catch up?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Which game did you end up catching?
I was watching the Bengals game.
Oh, that's perfect segue. What the hell is wrong with the Buffalo Bills, man? That's a perfect segue.
Disappointed. Like really. Like, when they came out and it was like 14-zip, I was really worried, bro.
14-zip on that first drive when they did 7-zip and 0.
But see, honestly though, I thought they was gonna come back. I thought.
Not me.
Bro, because they in the snow, they in Buffalo, they used to that. It's supposed to be that, but I'm like, bro, like what? That's when I was all right. They're not the team we thought they were. Like I think they need like maybe a year or more.
No.
Like there's
no.
You think this is
the Buffalo Bills need playmakers.
Okay.
Josh Allen cannot do it by himself.
Okay.
It is all on Josh Allen's shoulders. I know he claims he has an elbow injury. You have Dalvin Cook's brother, who is the running back. Give him a year or two.
Devin Singletary. I mean, I don't know.
But they're not running the ball. Josh Allen is their runner. You can't win a football game like that. You just have Stephon Diggs, Isaiah McKenzie, and Gabe Davis.
They in the first, they really neutralized Stephon Diggs, which you can hope for. I mean, you can game plan for, but Cage, I didn't understand. Like, they couldn't get him in the slot at all. I'm like, bro, like,
are you surprised?
No, I'm just see the Bengals though. They don't strike me as a team that can neutralize your wide receiver too, though. They don't really strike me as that type of defense.
And that's the problem, right? Everybody kind of wrote off the Bengals. Everybody talked about the Bills. You crowned the Bills, not you. I'm just saying in general. Yeah. Everybody crowned the Bills as the team that's heading to the Super Bowl. And nobody talked about the team that just made it to the Super Bowl.
But you got to understand, though, their offensive line, I was watching, they had a new right tackle, 23-year-old right tackle. No, left tackle. He was left tackle.
Three new
offensive line. And they was running the ball, like, really effectively, like, which, you could hope Joe Mixon,
that's great coaching.
That is. It really is. And he was cool in that pocket, like Joe Burrow. Like you would have hoped they could have tried to get more pressure, especially try to expose like the blind side, with that new rookie left tackle. But they just kept bringing it downfield and they kept running the ball. I'm like, bro,
Joe Burrow might be. Was this your 3 for him? He might be one of the best. No.
Here
You
we
ain't
go.
even let me finish.
All right. Go ahead.
He not even gonna let me
Here we
finish.
Go. Let's go.
He might be.
Here come the gas now. Go ahead.
I'm serious.
Okay.
Even in his he might be one of the best, or is gonna grow to become one of the best. His pocket presence, like pocket quarterback, his pocket presence, his decision making is insane.
It is.
His rookie year, he was scrambling, running for his life.
Can I ask you one thing though?
What's up?
Okay.
Here we go.
So
Here we go.
before Aaron Rodgers went to the Super Bowl, wasn't this not the same type of shit we were saying about him though? Like,
Nah.
can we crown people when they actually deserve and get their crown
Some
before?
people-
Look, I'm gonna say I like
Some
Joe
people-
Burrow,
some people
but
got
low.
that it. Joe Burrow has that it. Look, I've been
Don't-
on Joe Burrow since his rookie year. Ask Jonathan.
Okay.
Since his rookie year, I've been on him. I said something about this young man. He has that it. He was on a Bengals team that was.
They got Jamar Chase.
No,
they got T.
Jamar
Higgins.
Chase a year
But they had
after
T.
him.
Higgins though.
But his first year, he had no line. He was getting his ass tore up. They
got
were
an ACL.
down. They were down games. He would stay cool, calm, and collected and come back. Some people just got that it, and he's that it.
Wait. They drafted him. He was rookie. He was doing okay. He got hurt.
Week 11.
All right? They like 4'11"?
4'11".
Came back, got Jamar Chase, drafted
Round
him.
five.
Now you
I
got
mean,
T.
first
Higgins.
round, 15.
Exactly.
Right.
His old
But he
teammate.
still
You got
ain't
T.
had no
Higgins.
line. Second year, he still ain't had no line.
I get that. I agree. I understand. But let me say this though. We have not been saying this about Aaron Rodgers for years though.
We're not talking about Aaron Rodgers right now. We're talking about Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
I'm gonna say.
And we're talking about Josh Allen and what the Buffalo Bills have to do to get over that hump, because it is the same
I agree.
song
I
and
look.
dance.
I'll say this one thing. I don't think the Bengals are the hump that, and I know it sounds crazy because they just lost, but I don't think. I think Kansas City is the team. That's the hump you got to get over to really win for Joshua. Like Joe Burrow.
He just beat Kansas City and then got his ass whooped last week.
Who? Josh Allen?
Yes.
Well, yeah. No. I'm saying, I don't. I agree with what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but I think with Joe Burrow, I think he has more to prove now. He got to show me he can beat Kansas City and actually win something. I'm sorry.
Joe Burrow beat them 3 times.
All right. Wait. Once in the playoffs. So wait. Okay.
Was it 21-3
Who's the
last
remaining?
year?
All right. Listen to this. Who's the remaining AFC? They're the AFC champ. But listen,
Melissa, do you see
how
what
many
I'm talking
times?
about?
How many times have Patrick Mahomes been to AFC Championship game?
This is 5th year, right?
5th straight year.
Okay.
Right? He got a ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? He lost in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow just lost. To me, I like Joe Burrow,
And
but I
they
think
almost won. It ain't like they got their butt whooped like a certain team
that's true.
in an Arrowhead.
Look, I agree. I think Josh Allen, because I see where you come from and I agree. I think people have always had the same criticism that we are saying about Josh Allen now. I think him not having a team, I think you don't have a run game. You got Stephon Diggs. They went to go.
You're right. No run game. Only Stephon Diggs. You have Dawson Knox, who is a good tight end. Not great, but good. Sean McDermott, great coach, but he's a defensive guy.
That's
you
true.
need an offensive mind to get it going. Whether it's the GM coaching, things have to get done. They have to make moves in the offseason. Besides Von Miller on defense, the last big move they made before that was 3 years with Stephon Diggs, right? They don't freaking play man at all on defense. Joe Burrow
But it's hard
will
to play
eat
man
zone.
nowadays,
Yeah,
though.
but Joe Burrow will eat zone defenses a lot.
That's true.
You're
But you need
missing
pass rush. That's what I'm saying.
They don't
but
have
they
pass
have ball.
rushers.
He got hurt. I think Josh Allen, I think when you look at the offense, you can't put up 10 points in the playoffs. You can't put up, if we're trying to win, you cannot put up 10 points. So Josh Allen needs a run game. I like Josh Allen. I personally think in certain situations, in key third downs, I don't care what y'all say. I will take a Josh Allen over Joe Burrow. I know you say, okay, all right. But I'm saying Joe Burrow really got a team. He got a team that really Bills are somewhat of a team. They need a good run game. Joe Mixon helps out Joe Burrow so much because Joe Mixon's like a key.
Did we not see what Joe Burrow was doing in college?
Come on, that's like.
Did we not?
But you airing it out. Like in the league, you need run game really a lot. And I feel like what really separates Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow, he doesn't throw as many mistakes. He doesn't throw as many picks.
He makes better decisions.
He does.
Than Josh
I agree.
Allen.
But he also got a run game. I think Josh Allen he can't substitute. This year he tried to substitute for his run game. He tried to be himself. And sometimes he can and keep possessions. But most of the time, you need really a run game. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, a comment was made. Brandon Bean states, we didn't get it done up front, and that starts with me, right? Taking accountability, great. Mm-hmm. But then he also made a comment that was more or less on the lines of the advantages of the Bengals having his 2 players on rookie contracts. And what was his other comment? Something in the effects was... basically about the Bengals having to suck, like, right? He was just like, I don't want to get to the point where my team sucks this bad where we have to draft a Jamar Chase.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Can't make comments like that.
Okay.
No.
Why not?
No. Because you guys got to do something. They don't do anything in free agency. They have to do something.
But you got to, I'll say this, though. We gotta like look at the league now, right? Especially with the spread now, you going young, right? And I think he was really trying to just make a dig at them and was like, Joe Burrow is being made by Jamar Chase a lot. Not to say, again, you could disagree or not.
We about to go next topic because we're not going to do this. We're not doing this.
Because you gotta really, I understand what you're trying to say. They're a mediocre team. The Bengals had one sucky season, right? And was able to draft really, really well. Buffalo is kind of like they've been running the mill for a while, so they had to.
Is mediocre,
bro. But let's be honest.
Wait.
All right, but let's real. Buffalo, for decades, have been known as an organization that lost how many times in the Super Bowl?
4.
Right. Okay, so you got that shadow behind you.
Back.
Who's been dominating your division for the past decade?
New England.
Okay. So you got so much pressure behind you.
Bill O'Brien back, by the way.
Yeah, so we're going to go in that.
Tighten up.
But look,
Buffalo.
As an organization, you've had to, you've been overshined by so many mistakes that you've had. So now, listen. So as an organization, you're trying to build, but you can't draft. You can't get lottery picks all the time because you're not a terrible team. Okay?
You can trade.
Who you going to? Oh, so you're going to be like LA. You're going to be like the Rams, right? And then when you trade your life away one year, you win.
Listen.
After that, you're done, right? That's what you want.
You can trade. You can trade smart.
But that's why they got Stephen Diggs.
Look what the Chiefs did, right? You don't have Tyreek Hill, but you have a lot of supplemental pieces, right?
Who they running back,
you
though?
Could be smarter than
Isaiah Pacheco.
You got Isaiah Pacheco.
They just
Clyde
got him.
Edwards-Helaire is hurt for the season.
Mm-hmm.
You can make moves. The Bills, last few years, what moves have they made outside of the Stephon Diggs move that they made a few years ago? And then this year, Von Miller. Nada. They did nothing.
But you would hope. I think, though, you got to give them credit. It didn't work out. I agree with you. But you can't say they nothing. Von Miller, Super Bowl champ, he comes and has shown that he can come and make a dynamic impact in your game in key games to sway, right? And on a key possession, he can get a sack. He can get this. He could force a turnover. He could force a rush.
But Josh
to get a pick.
Still scored 10 points.
I agree. But that's the run game, though. But I'm gonna say though. But look, imagine this: you had a run game. Say you had a decent running back
that they don't have.
They tried to get Nyheim Hines though. He wasn't it though.
No.
He was. They tried to get him.
Why didn't they feature Nyheim Hines more?
Because he's not Okay. He was doing well behind Jonathan Taylor, but I think what they wanted to do was have him be like what Tom Pollard is for the Dallas.
Tony Pollard.
Tommy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They wanted him to be a key third down running back, because Devin Singletary and Delvin Cook's brother,
That's a shame. James Cook.
James Cook. There you go. If you have a key 3rd and 5, you're not really handing it off to them hoping that they can get the first down, get you 5 yards. They're not averaging above 5 yards a carry. Versus you're hoping Naeem was, because he was doing that a little bit when Jonathan Taylor was down in Indianapolis. So that's why you trade for him. But bro, he not it. You know what I mean? So it's like they're trying. They hit their picks is always hitting. I think that's the history of the Bills. Like they picks don't really be hitting like that, but they trying.
I believe it when I see it. I will say this: Buffalo Bills fans, just be weary. Right? Because the AFC is too competitive right now. And we're not just talking about in that division, like in general.
Yeah.
It's tough teams to beat, right?
Yep.
The division, if Miami can continue and or improve next year, you got to watch out for that. The Jets have skill players. The only thing they're missing is the quarterback. So let's see what happens with that, with all this Aaron Rodgers talking, all this stuff, right? It's all ifs, because things could change.
Yeah.
And if, with Bill O'Brien coming back to New England as an offensive coordinator and him reuniting with Mac Jones, let's see if Mac Jones is really a good quarterback this season.
That's true.
And when you have Bill Belichick as the crazy mastermind that he is, it's not going to be an easy cakewalk like how we were crowning the Bills for the next 20 years to run the division.
All right. Look, I agree with you to an extent. I think the Bills are still the team to beat in that division. Nah, real talk though, because Josh Allen, I think people say a lot, they say like, oh, he needs a lot more weapons. I halfway agree with that. I think he just needs a better run game. I think in this league, we downplay the run game a lot, where you see a Patrick Mahomes needed an Isaiah Pacheco to be where he's at now.
He barely used that guy. Cut it out.
But did you see the last game though? On key 3rd downs, he was picking up like 15 yards
like
first
he
downs.
Run Isaiah Pacheco like they run. Cut it out.
But
like his name Aaron Jones or something. If you don't cut it out.
I'm saying these dudes. If you put the ball in their hand in open space in key situations, they can get you a first down. Bro, Zeke can't do it. Devin Singletary can't do it. Who's the other one? James Cook can't do it. On the 3rd and 5, I don't want to pass the ball. I want to run it to get a first down. Easy, move the chains. I can't trust James Cook, but I can trust Isaiah Pacheco, like you saw.
Shout out to Isaiah Pacheco.
Bro, he's tough.
He's tough. Melissa, I'm going to ask Melissa.
Okay.
Melissa, what did you think about that game between the Bills? The moments that you saw, what did you think about the Bills and the Bengals game?
I was kind of disappointed. I was kind of rooting for the Bills, to be quite honest. I have a lot of respect for the Bengals, but I have lots of friends who like the Bills, and a very good friend of mine loved the Bills. So, I was kind of hoping the Bills would win, but, it was a little bit disappointing. Like I said, I kind of watched a little bit at a time, so I can't really comment the way I would like.
So now we have the Bills. Oh, they talking about me. Now we have the Chiefs playing the Bengals. They're going to play at Arrowhead. The Chiefs were favored, but now the Bengals are favored by what, 1.5 points? Yeah. You have Patrick Mahomes, who's hurt with a high ankle sprain. The Bengals kind of own the Chiefs. It's funny because the Bills can't beat the Chiefs, and the Chiefs can't beat the Bengals.
Hey, I gotta put some more respect on the Chiefs. Then
it's no disrespect. We're saying a fact. Hold on, I'm talking to Melissa real quick. Just stand by. Who do you have, or do you have any picks for this matchup? The Final Four is like very good, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I'm gonna go for the Chiefs on this one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Why?
I think Mahomes has been there. He's done that. He knows what he's doing. Even though he's hurt, I think that he's going to be able to pull it through. I think Joe Burrows is, phenomenal, but I just think that I think Mahomes has the experience that he needs and kind of will know what to do a little bit more than the Bengals.
See, Jerry agreed with you. He ready to go on a tangent. I had to hold him back a little bit. He ready to go. I know you agree.
I agree 100%.
I know you do.
This isn't to take away from Joe Burrow, like she was saying, to add to her point. Like, I think Joe Burrow is a really great quarterback now, and he has the he can galvanize a team really well where they play behind him. You know what I mean? Like, even in the snow, right? So I like that for him. But man, you haven't won to me yet. I know you won the AFC Championship game last year.
I don't know what it take to win.
But you got to win it all. Patrick has shown me.
I don't know. Go ahead.
What?
I don't know what it take to win. A trip to the Super Bowl, you ain't win. But the Bills doing great, right? They can't get past. I don't know what it take to win nowadays.
Let me add it like this. I look at them winning the same. Who really won? Who's really going to the Super Bowl and really representing?
The Bengals.
Bengals went once and they lost. Chiefs is the one really representing. They went to AFC Championship 5 games in 5 seasons.
How many Super Bowls did they win?
They won 1.
Okay.
And they've been to 2. So they really the ones.
But they won how many?
They won 1.
Okay, continue.
What? Against Joe Burrow? You know what I mean?
Continue. I'm just waiting for it.
I look at it like this. I think last year, that was a trap game for the Chiefs. They didn't really have a run game like that. They thought pass happy, kind of having Patty Mahomes kind of roll out of the pocket, improvise was going to get them over the hump. And Andy Reid saw, no, what's always going to win you football games is an aggressive run game. That's what's going to always keep you in the game like a good defense. So he got Isaiah Pacheco.
Can I just throw out some advantages for both teams?
Okay.
Because I'm not making a pick.
Okay.
I do think both of you are right in a sense that I would never count out Patrick Mahomes, right? I think the Chiefs have the advantage in a sense that their team looks a lot different from the last 3 times that they played the Bengals. You don't have a Tyreek Hill who you can throw a screen to and he just blows past you. But you do have a Travis Kelce who is your blanket. And the Bengals defense, as good as they are, what tight ends of that magnitude have they really covered, right? Their defense is phenomenal, though. Like, sensational. Both teams have bulletin board material, right? The Bengals have this chip on their shoulder. The Chiefs have this newfound material where Who Dey Nation is calling it Burrowhead, right? You don't want to... If I'm a Chief player...
Yo, you don't think that's a little disrespectful,
Who are you talking to coming in my house talking like that?
Burrowhead, okay.
Let's see if Andy Reid is stating that Patrick Mahomes' high ankle sprain isn't so bad, right? Mm-hmm. So in 2018 or 2019, he suffered another ankle injury against the Jags in the season opener. Mm-hmm. But in week 2, he played the Raiders and threw for 443 yards, right? So, not saying it's going to be the same, but a high ankle sprain is difficult to manage. If it is very cold, like it's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be -3 for now. The weather's going to change. But that's a lot. So, that O-line has to play lights out, which Patrick Mahomes has been a better pocket quarterback this year. That running game, as you alluded to. Yeah. And again, now you have oh my gosh, baby boy from Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Mm-hmm. You have all these other 30 pieces that they picked up to supplement Tyreek Hill. Yeah. So that's the advantage. I don't think their defense is good, but getting to Joe Burrow is going to be hard.
That's it.
And they got too many damn weapons. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, they do.
They got
Cincy, it's like you got to outscore them. Like you're not gonna have them. You're not gonna like make them put up 17 points in the playoffs. Like it's just not gonna happen. Like you got to put up 28, 30 to really beat them. You know what I mean? Like, and Patty Mahomes. I just think like I like this matchup, right? We saw last
The
year.
four best teams are in,
That's
deservedly
it.
so.
Exactly.
The four best teams are
But
in.
I think, like, you know, we got to look. I feel like, and I'm not even no big Patty Mahomes fan, we got to put a little respect on Patty Mahomes' name.
Who's disrespecting him? We can't stay
Bro,
facts.
we talking Joe Burrowhead, though? That's not a little disrespectful.
We could disrespect Joe Burrow, though, right?
Oh, how we disrespected Joe?
You just said he wasn't a winner. I'm confused. He just went to the Super Bowl. I'm confused.
And lost.
I'm confused.
Thank you. Like, you gotta,
He
bro.
almost lost.
I'ma crown
he
you
almost,
when you win the crown. I'ma crown you when you win the crown. Then you can walk around big dog. You can't say you won the AFC Championship game. We big dogs in the AFC, bro. You won the AFC Championship.
So Josh Allen can't say he won. Okay, can't say he won a nothing. Okay.
That's true. But he on that way. He got a little humble chip, though.
No. You see how you do? You see how he do? You see how he do? 49ers are playing the Eagles. That's going to be another great matchup.
Yeah, 100%.
Melissa, who do you have winning, if anybody? What are you looking forward to in this game?
That's going to be a really good game. You know, San Francisco has been having a really great defense, but I've also been following Jalen Hurts. I like him. I liked him when he was at Alabama. I liked his grace when he had stepped back and not be the lead quarterback. You know, and he's gotten into the NFL and just killing it. So, you know, I'm kind of leaning towards the Eagles. I'm leaning towards the Eagles. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say.
We here with it. I got the Eagles. Well, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. Be gracious host.
I like the Eagles, of course. You know, so I agree with you guys. I saw an article. I think a writer on Bleacher Report was like, I would take Brock Purdy over Dak, and I'm like, all right.
Dak or Jalen?
Dak.
Okay.
So, to me, Jalen, how he's on the field right now. I mean, look, people going to say it was crazy when Nick Sirianni was like, oh, it's like having Jordan out there. Oh, you blessed. I understand.
Get what he was trying to say.
And he has that calmness to him.
Yes, that's what he was trying to allude to.
Brock Purdy doesn't have. And I don't think even a Dak Prescott has with his 7-year tenure with the Cowboys. I don't think he got that calmness with his team like Jalen Hurts has with his, right? So I do agree and understand why Nick Sirianni said what he said. So I think that game is – I don't think it's going to be as high scoring.
Defense.
And it's like that game, Jalen Hurts got to prove to us that he can win it all. Like, that crowd can go to him. He can hold that ring, and he can get that MVP. Because this is the game to do it,
What's up with you and having people prove to you?
Bro, because,
What's up with this?
All right, we're going to look past decade before. How many quarterbacks? And you was just I love Aaron, and you was killing him the last
Because I'm sick of his shenanigans.
Oh, because he ain't what? Because he ain't what?
I love his talent, but he be doing too much.
But, see, you could do too much, and you know. And like women, y'all pretty with me. Y'all can say you could do too much when you doing something good. If you ain't doing nothing, we don't want to hear you no more. So you know what I mean? Exactly. When you pretty and you doing something for your man, he'll take that.
He's so out of pocket.
But it's the truth, though. See, y'all laughing because you know it's the truth. So you will be able to handle Aaron Rodgers' shenanigans if he was winning. See, he not winning, so you not with it no more. And as you should be.
I was never with it. He been working my nerves. Okay. Eagles, Niners, evenly matched.
Yeah.
I think this is like heavyweight fight of all fights.
Mm-hmm.
Coaching advantage, Kyle Shanahan.
Yes.
To me. Baby, Niners secondary need a little help. Last few weeks, they've been letting opponents score on them in the second half, right? and that's just like me nitpicking. Those Eagles got those 4 pass rushers, baby, that will give it to you. Mm-hmm. You know how many sacks the Eagles have on the season? 70 plus. I think 75 to be exact. Damn. They rank like top 4, top 5 teams in the most sacks of all time.
So this is Brock Purdy test, right? Like, it's really
Brock Purdy has not had a rookie-looking game, and maybe this week will be because he hasn't you're not at home. 7 in a row, yes. Phenomenal talent to be so composed and but it helps when you have a George Kittle. It helps when you have a Brandon Ayuk. It helps when you have a Deebo Samuel. That's not Kyle Juszczyk, who hasn't been utilized yet. So I'll be curious to see if they'll use him going into this game. It helps. It helps when your team is stacked around you and you got Christian a defense McCaffrey, who knocking people out the water with a Nick Bosa. But one pass rusher against four pass rushers.
Exactly.
Look how the Cowboys were giving Brock Purdy the business last week.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be very interesting. I do have the Eagles edging out on this one.
Yeah, me too.
Offensively, they're match weapon for weapon. Jalen Hurts can run the ball on you. Miles Sanders is gonna attack you. AJ Brown on your ass. And then everybody forgets about Devontae Smith, who has a breakout game here or there.
To me, he's scary. Like in that slot, I think that can be the swing for the Eagles.
And let's not forget their tight end, Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a game. And the Eagles, what is this? Their third NFC conference in some years?
Yeah. I think
Ooh,
this is the first one.
Exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah. This is the first one. This is the first NFC championship they came.
Since they won the Super Bowl.
Since they won the Super Bowl, yeah.
So look at my face. We ain't need that. We ain't need that stat.
You know, I had to throw that.
Because they beat the Patriots. We ain't need that stat. We ain't need that. We ain't need that stat. But it's definitely gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited. Melissa, our time is almost up. These episodes go by so fast. Oh my goodness.
This has been super fast. I was like, wow, what happened to the time? This has been great, y'all. You guys work so well together.
Thank you.
You got a good thing going.
Thank you. I would love to have you back for multiple shows, honestly. But we can touch base offline. Again, for anybody that missed it, please tell the people where they can follow you. I know you have Twitter. You don't remember the handle. Instagram, Facebook.
You know what?
She gonna pull it up.
I found it.
Hey.
It's on the back of my book here. So hey everybody, once again, thank you guys for listening. This has been a great podcast. I'm Melissa with What Just Happened Sports. So would love for you to follow us on Instagram under What Just Happened Sports, Facebook, same thing. And on Twitter, we are WJ Happen Sports. So WJ Happen Sports. So thank you so much to Danache and Jeremy for having us on. Really enjoyed it.
We appreciate you. That's a good show, loser.
Yeah.
You're such a loser. But I love this guy. Later, guys. No, I gotta put in that handle.
Get it, nigga. New women, old ways, never wifey, old babes, and they going both.